today. They went and see.
Ми захищаємо саме свої права. Ось що відбувається. А Росія розуміє, що Україна стоїть, захищає свої права і тисне на наших людей. Тисне і на Америку. З чим я ще пов'язую сьогоднішній удар. Або передусім. Вчора в Лондоні була зустріч. І дійсно були присутні європейські країни, і Сполучені Штати Америки, Україна, Британія, Франція, Німеччина, Сполучені Штати Америки. Вчора була розмова, вона закінчилась у будь-якому випадку. Вона була непроста, але конструктивна. Вона закінчилась не розбіжностями, а все одно бажанням працювати далі. Я впевнений, що Росія розраховувала на великий скандал вчора. Я не бачу зараз сильного тиску на Росію і нових якихось сильних санкційних пакетів проти агресії Російської Федерації. Поки що ми дуже надіємось. Без закидів, абсолютно без емоцій і закидів дуже прямо говоримо. Вважаємо, що при більшому тиску на Російську Федерацію ми зможемо наблизити наші сторони, якщо хочете, хоча ми наближені, окей, дипломатичною мовою зможемо наблизити сторону до повного безумовного припинення вогню. На нас напали, нас окупували територію, вбити тисячі, десятки тисяч людей. Заживо поховано багато дітей і дорослих. І те, що Україна готова сісти за стіл перемовин після ceasefire, після повного припинення вогню з терористами, які все це влаштували на нашій землі, виключно на нашій землі, це великий компроміс.
I think it's a real reminder that Russia is the aggressor here. And that is being felt by the Ukrainians as it's been felt for 3 long years now. And that's why it's important that we get Russia to an unconditional ceasefire. Obviously, we had talks in London this week, in Paris last week. We're making progress towards a ceasefire. It's got to be a lasting ceasefire. But these attacks, which are just awful attacks, are a real human reminder of who is the aggressor here and the cost to the Ukrainian people.
We condemn, Mr. Speaker, Russia's most brutal missile and drone attacks on civilians, including overnight absolutely horrific scenes, Mr. Speaker. And our thoughts are with the victims and their loved ones at this tragic time. These are simply shocking scenes. And of course, they come on the back of shocking scenes, not only in Kyiv, but in Kryvyi, in Sumy, in Marhanets, and many other locations across Ukraine in recent days. And I would remind the House, Mr. Speaker, while Ukraine has been in peace talks, Russia has continued these severe attacks, including last night, and that is a stark reminder of the continued bloodshed and aggression perpetrated by Putin. President Zelensky has shown his commitment to peace, Mr. Speaker. President Putin must now agree to a full and immediate ceasefire without conditions, as Ukraine has done. We will not stop in our efforts to work with all the parties to that end.
Mr. Speaker, there is much debate about the initiatives to end the war by negotiations, but we cannot forget that this war was started by Putin, a murderous, foul autocrat who is being propped up by an axis of authoritarian states trying to extinguish democracy in our own continent and by those who are opposed to our values, including China, North Korea and Iran. We need the government to be leveraging British influence in every way possible for Ukraine. Our Ukrainian friends are on the front line battling in an attempt to reshape the whole international order by force. I condemn the sanctioning, Mr. Speaker, of the 15 members yesterday by Russia. And to those colleagues I will say this, it shows you're on the right side of history and that we must always stand up to tyranny. UK sanctions on Russia must stay in place.
Our international relationships the world over are dependent on the confidence of those partner countries that we stick by our word and that our allies do likewise. So will the Right Honourable Gentleman, the member for Tottenham, ensure that he conveys that message to the United States of America, that the world is looking, friends and foes alike, at our willingness to stick by the commitments that we have made to Ukraine? And if we renege on those commitments, every single relationship around the world will be undermined.
Minister. Well, I'm not the Right Honourable Member for Tottenham, but Cardiff South and Penarth. But I thank the Right Honourable Member, the former Foreign Secretary, for his comments and his continued support. And indeed, I thank him for his engagement with me when I was on his side of the benches on these important issues. I've been absolutely clear, and the government has been absolutely clear. Our support is ironclad. It's not only ironclad now, for 100 years into the future. That is absolutely clear. And I was able to convey our support and our unity on this issue, in fact, with a bipartisan delegation of the US House Foreign Affairs Committee yesterday. It was an excellent and productive discussion, and indeed there is strong unity on these issues, and we need to continue to work together, not just across Europe, but in our transatlantic and indeed our global alliances, not only to deter and defend against the threat from Russia, but indeed other threats that we face together.
Really worried about what President Trump has been saying about President Zelensky in Ukraine. It's almost like he's siding with Russia again. He's asking President Zelensky to do something he can't do, which is say he wants to give up Crimea. And President Trump must know that. So I hope our Prime Minister will have some straight talking with the President of the United States and continue building the military coalition of the willing, which he's talked about and we support. We support increasing defence spending. We support working with our European allies, our Commonwealth allies, to make sure we can get behind Ukraine, whatever President Trump decides to do. I think it's very disappointing that our closest ally, the United States, is behaving the way it is. I've always been a strong supporter of the alliance between the United Kingdom and the United States. They are our closest ally. We fought together in a whole series of wars, and we've worked together on our economy. And to have someone in the White House who is an unreliable ally is a real shame. But we have to call things as they are. And the Prime Minister's got to put the national interest first, whether it's on our economy and trade, whether it's on defence and security, and stand up for the British interest. And I'm very annoyed to see some politicians, like the Conservatives, like Reform and Nigel Farage, kissing the boots of President Trump when he's actually damaging our country's interests.